Hey guys, welcome back. So my brows are done, my lids are primed. As always, I will leave the products that I use down below if you're interested. I'm just starting off with some sticky tape just on the outer edges of my eyes, and today I'm going to be using the Master palette by Mario from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm first going to be taking the color Lula, which is a really gorgeous taupey brown shade. I'm taking this, per usual, you know the drill, on a big fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to be taking this in my crease, all over my lid, and I am going to be building this shade up. I normally never start off with cool tone colors, but this look is kind of like a mixture of cool and warm tone, so this color was just perfect for the look. Then I'm taking my favorite shade from the palette. Of course, it's an orange color. This is Isabelle, and I'm using the same blending brush that I was just using with the same technique that I just did with the Lula color. I'm just going to be applying that into my crease and a little bit above my crease. These two colors together complement each other so well. I really loved the way that it looked with the teal because it just added the right amount of warm and cool tones, and everything just really blended together nicely. So obsessed with these. I think I really like this palette. The more that I use it, the more that I really do like it. Then, of course, for the star of the show, I'm taking Claudia, which is a really beautiful navy teal color. I love the mixture of both that's in this color because it's not too navy, it's not too teal, it's not too bright, it's beautiful. So I'm taking this with a flat shader brush, which, by the way, I did not spray with any Fix Plus, any type of setting spray. This is just the color on its own. It's super pigmented. And I took this all over my lid, and then what I did was just take the same blending brush that I was using earlier, and I just kind of blended out a little bit of the teal from my lid into my crease. That way nothing looks choppy, harsh, and everything just kind of has like a nice gradient between the transition colors and the lid colors. So I really loved what I had going on with my eyeshadow so far, but I wanted to add a little bit more dimension, so I took that deep brick red brown color, and I just thought the red undertones in this brown shade went perfectly with the transition shades that I use in my crease. So I'm taking this on a smaller crease brush and just applying it on the outer corners of my crease, and then kind of just very gradually blending it into my lid a little bit. Then I went in with the single shadow eyeshadow, can I talk today? The single shadow from Wet n Wild in the shade Brûlée, and I just took this just to highlight my brow bone. It's so pigmented, but it didn't take away from the lid color, so that's why I love it. And then I took the same blending brush because I love it so much, just to go ahead and just further blend everything out. For mascara, this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly Mascara, and I just applied a few coats, and then today I'm going to be using these falsies. These are the Salon Perfect 614. Shout out to you guys for recommending this to me. I got a couple recommendations for you guys to try these out, and I love them. They're basically like the Kiss Lashes that I love, but these are a little bit more long. Actually, they're a lot more longer, but they're so beautiful. The band is so thin, so they're really easy to apply. If you have bigger eyes, these are going to be perfect. If you have smaller eyes, you're probably going to have to cut them, but they just make your eyes look really open and awake. And I like how they're wispy and long, but they're not thick, so they don't take away from the eyeshadow, and you can still see the, you know, colorful look that we have going on. So I love them. Okay, moving right along to the face, I'm first starting off with the Wet n Wild's Coverall Face Primer. This is a really nice primer if you want your skin to feel really soft and your foundation to go on really smooth and silky. It doesn't mattify the skin, but it just kind of smooths everything out, so it feels really nice. And then I'm going to be mixing two of my Faye foundations, the Too Faced Born This Way and Estee Lauder Double Wear. The Too Faced one is a little too dark for me at the moment. It's in the shade Warm Golden, and then the Estee Lauder one is too light for me. It's in 3W1 Tawny. So I'm mixing the two just to create my perfect shade. I love the finish of both of these together, and I'm using an ofra sponge to go ahead and blend this out. I know it still looks a little bit off, but I promise it's going to come together in the end. So then for my under eye, I'm starting off with the Hard Candy Instant Eye Treatment, and this is just an under eye corrector. It doesn't have a ton of coverage, but I like the way it makes my under eye feel. It's very cooling and hydrating. I like to especially use this on days when I don't get a lot of sleep the night before, or if I'm up really early, because it reduces my puffiness a little bit, and it just makes my concealer go on really nice as well. So I really just love it, and I'm using, again, the same ofra sponge from earlier to go ahead and blend that out. Next, I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium. This is my current go-to concealer. I can't stop using it. It's just so beautiful underneath the eyes. If you're in the market for something just super full coverage and creamy and easy to work with and you're willing to splurge, then I promise you it's worth it. And I've had this concealer for almost 2 months and I still have a lot of product left, so it's really worth it, I promise. To set my foundation and concealer, I'm using the Milani Prep Set and Go Transparent Powder. I'm first starting off with the e.l.f. blush brush, which is a really tiny brush, just to apply this to the areas where I applied the concealer and really just concentrate the product there so nothing creases. And then I just went in with an e.l.f. complexion brush, which is a larger powder brush, just to go ahead and set the rest of my face. And this just prevents anything from looking blotchy, like blush, bronzer, contour. It just makes everything go on like 10 times smoother. Even if you have dry skin, I think it's super important to always set your face. So then for my under eyes, I don't know why I always finish up my eyes before the rest of my face, but I'm taking the color Isabel and I'm just smudging that right underneath my lower lashes. I'm really smoking out this color because I have really annoying fine lines, and if you have really like wrinkly fine lines underneath your concealer, then if you apply some shadow underneath your lower lashes, it kind of takes away from that a little bit and diminishes the appearance of it. So try this trick out. It doesn't like make them go away, but it helps a lot in my opinion. And then I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline. I'm using this Maybelline Gel Pencil Liner in the shade Coffee, and it's just a really beautiful coffee brown color. I just felt like it went really well with the oranges and the transition colors. And then for a nice pop, I took Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill on the inner corners just to add a little bit of brightness to that area, and I'm using a crease brush from Royal & Lang Nickel. Now I can finally finish up the face, so I'm using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium to Dark. This is one of my all-time favorite bronzers ever. I've used it for years. It goes on so smooth, and I'm using an angled brush from Sigma. You can use any brush, like Target has a really good one as well, but brushes like this are great, especially if you're a beginner, because it pretty much does the contouring for you. Since it's angled, you don't really have to do a lot of work with it, so I'm just giving myself very natural contoured look, but a little bit more sharp than usual just because I have dramatic eyes, so I'm going to do a little dramatic contour. Then for my cheeks, I'm using the 10 color blush palette from BH, and I'm going to be using the bronzy and the peach color on a Wet n Wild stippling brush and just applying that right to the apples of my cheeks. And I'm also bringing it up to where I applied the bronzer. That way everything looks really blended and seamless. I also took the same Milani powder from earlier with the blush brush from e.l.f. from earlier as well, just to go ahead and clean up my contour and make everything more sharp. So then to go ahead and highlight, I'm using the Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill. Again, I just felt like it went so well with the look. I mean, this highlighter looks good with any type of eye look, but especially since I used it in the inner corner, I felt like it was just appropriate. And I'm using this tiny brush from Target. I use it all the time. It's from the Up and Up brand. I got it in a set, and it's my favorite for highlighting. So finally for my lips, I'm using the Ofra lip liner in the shade Mauve, and I'm just going to line and fill them in. And to top that off, I'm using the Lipland liquid lipstick in the shade Venus. I really love this color, but the formula is a little bit drying. It's not my favorite formula, but the colors are just really beautiful. And this is like a peachy nude color, which I felt like just went perfectly with everything. So it really tied everything together. So last but not least, I just went ahead and set my face using this one by Pixi, which you can find at Target. And that does complete the look. What do you guys think of it? Let me know down below in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a few days in my next video. Bye!